All right, let's talk about how to do the memes assignment. The first thing we're going to do is open up Photoshop and we're going to create a new canvas here. We're going to set our options to inches right here. And we want our width to be 10, our height to be 10, and our resolution to be 72. And go ahead and click on Create. That should create a nice white canvas for you. Make sure you're on the Move tool to get things started. I was on the Crop tool, which is why you saw that weird box on there. But we want to be on the Move tool. And actually, that's a lie, because what we actually want to do is use the Type tool. Keyboard shortcut for the Type tool is the letter T, and you can right-click on this tool to see additional options. We want to make sure we're only using the horizontal Type tool. And you can see when we select that tool, we get new options here along the top for adjustments we can make. We've got the font, the size, the alignment of the text, and the color is what we're going to be covering in this video. So first thing I want to do is with my text tool selected or my type tool, I'm going to come and just click somewhere on my canvas. And you can see Photoshop gives me some dummy text, lorem ipsum. It's Latin for nothing. It doesn't really mean anything. And with that text still highlighted, I can come up here and I can choose the font I would like to use. I could choose the size of the font that I would like to use. You can go anywhere from 6 to 72, or you can always, if you want something bigger, just click in this box and type in your own number. How about 120? That looks great. And you can see this text is all moving towards the right. I clicked right here and it's moving this way. That's because it was set to align to right, and I can center it. And it's going to center based on where I clicked on the screen, or align to the left. So again, I clicked right here. So it's either aligning to the left, the right, or center based on that. And then of course, here is the color. What happens a lot is this color is set to white, and you're like, well, why can't I see my text? And that's because you're using white text on a white background, or black text on a black background. So if you ever can't see your text, it's probably because it's a weird color. So choose a color and a color over here, a main color, and then a subcolor out here, and hit OK. And then I want you to just press the delete key, and I want you to type one true fact about you. I have one brother. And you can see right off the bat, I got an issue. My text goes off the edge of the canvas. Not a problem. You can see if I move my cursor away from my text while my type is still active, which it is because there's a blinking cursor right there, my cursor turns into the Move tool, and I can now click and drag and move this along just like that. And it fits perfectly. I got lucky. I could have also clicked right here and just pressed return on my keyboard or enter on my keyboard, and it would have moved down like that. Now I have a weird setting going on. Yours will not normally do that, which it just did. In fact, let me change that setting, and there you go. It would normally look like that when you press return. And now I just need to tell Photoshop I'm done typing, and I can do that by pressing the escape key on my keyboard. I could press command return, or I could click out here to finish the typing. And you can see that did that as well. You could also come up here and click this check mark right there. Either way, any of those will work. Once I'm done with this type, look over here at my layers panel. I've got a new layer here, and that's a type layer, which means the text is on its own layer, which means I can grab my Move tool and I can move it around. I can do Command T on my keyboard to do a free transform, and I can make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and I can move it back up there. And go ahead and press enter or return on that. So let's switch now. I'm going to grab my type tool again, and I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to click, and that was clearly too big, so let's make it a little bit smaller. And I want to choose a different font this time as well, so I'll choose that font, and I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to type another random fact about me. So I love to hunt, hike, and camp. And you see that also didn't quite fit. Again, I could make this 2 lines, or I can just move my cursor away from it and click and drag to give myself a little bit more room. I'm going to press Command Return to tell Photoshop I'm done typing. And then last thing I want to do, not last thing, but next I want to come in here and I want to edit some of this text that already exists. I want to change some things to it. So look at my cursor. Right now it has those black dots around it. You can see when I move my cursor over my text, whoops, I accidentally just zoomed out. When I move my cursor over my text, those dots disappear. And when those dots are gone like that, that means that I can now highlight or click and highlight different parts of the text. So what I want to do now that I've done that, is I'm going to select part of this second thing, and I'm going to change the color of it. Change the size. Let's make it let's make it a little bit smaller, just because I don't have a ton of room. And the font. That's a lovely font right there. And again, I need to move it over just a little bit. That piece just getting cut off, so I just click and move this over. I accidentally clicked out of it. That's okay. I'll just switch to the move tool, and that will allow me to move it around. Very good, very good. And we need to create one more thing. Let's go type tool again. We're going to click and drag to create a paragraph box this time. And again, Photoshop filled that up with dummy text for me, and I can come up here and change the font again. Let's go. I'm just going to pick something random. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I don't have to type as much. Let's change the color here. And here you'll really see what these buttons do. You can see right now it's aligned to the left, meaning that end is straight. Here's aligned to the right with this button up here, and here is centered. So I'm going to leave that on aligned to the left, press delete, and you're going to type one last true fact about you, but something that takes multiple lines. So like I was... There you go. And once again, we just tell Photoshop we're done typing, same as we've done before. Escape will work, Command Return, or just click out here. And that's it. Now we need to save this because we have multiple layers and we may want to come back and edit these layers someday. We're going to save it twice, once as a PSD file and once as a JPEG file. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. This is going to pop up. I'm going to find my folder. That's in Google Drive, Shared Drives, Photography, Photo12, Period 1, Johnson, Mr. I'm going to make a new folder and call it Meme Assignment. And in this folder, I'm going to create and name this first one. I'm going to call it Meme 1. We're going to actually create 3 different things for this. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop format first. So make sure your format here is on Photoshop and hit Save. I'm then going to immediately come back here and do File, Save As, and I'm already in the Meme Assignment folder. I'm already there. You can see that I'm in, again, Google Drive, Photography, Photo12, Period 1, my folder, Meme Assignment. So I don't need to change anything. I don't even want to rename it. I just want to change the format from Photoshop to JPEG and hit Save. When this box pops up, I like to press 10 right here and press OK. Okay, we are done with this one. I'm going to close it by clicking on this X right here and hit Don't Save on this one. Now, let's create like an old school meme. So I'm going to go to Lightroom now. And listen, we're not trying to be clever or funny with this. We're just going to create take a photo and put some type on it. And we're going to do this old school version that people used to do. This used to be very common, font and size and color and everything for a meme. So let's do this same one here. So I'm going to start. I'm going to come and use this photo unedited. I'm going to right click on it here in Lightroom and I'm going to choose Edit in Photoshop. That's going to open up in Photoshop. And there it is. We're not going to do anything to the photo other than just grab the text tool or the type tool right here. And I know right away without even clicking, although I'm going to go ahead and click just because I can. Photoshop's going to give me that dummy text. I know the font I want is going to be Impact, so I'm going to search that up. Impact. I just typed that into the box right there. I know I need a much bigger size. Let's see how 72 looks. That's pretty close, pretty close. I know I want it to be centered, so let's click on that. And I know I want it to be white, so I'm going to click on the color box and change that to white. And I also want all caps, so I'm going to turn my caps lock on. And the car I drive to, and then here I'm going to press return to go to the next line, school on Tuesdays. And it fit perfectly, perfectly. Do what you need to do. If you need to come in here and select this text and make it a little bit smaller, that's fine. Maybe try 60. Maybe the way your photo is, it needs to be bigger. Maybe you need to put 150. That's a little bit big for me, a little bit big. I'm going to go back to 60 for mine. And again, you can type any number you want in here. And then I'm going to just check this check mark right here to tell Photoshop I'm done typing. And the next thing we need to do is add a black border to this. And we're going to do that by coming over here to our Layers panel, making sure we're on our text layer, our type layer right here, coming down to the bottom and clicking on this little FX button. This is the button that will allow us to add a layer style. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to choose Stroke. We want to change a few things here. One, move this. If this is covering up your text, you need to be able to see your text. So move this down so you can see your type back there. And we want to change the color. We want to make sure this is on black. So I'm going to click on this box right here. I'm going to change that to black by just putting this. You don't have to like click on this circle to move it. You can click anywhere you want, and I'm going to drag down to the bottom left-hand corner like that. And I'm going to change the position here to outside. I think by default it's on inside. And I'm going to change the size until that black border looks right to me, maybe about like that, and I'll press OK. And that's it. We're done. But again, this has multiple layers, so let's save it as a PSD and as a JPEG. Here we go. File, save as. If everything's gone right, oh, look at that. We're not in my folder anymore. I thought we would be. So let's pay attention to where we're saving things. Let's go to Google Drive, Shared Drives, SR Photography, Photo 1, 2, Period 1, whatever your period is, Johnson, Mr. Meme Assignment, and guess what this one's called? This one is called, let's highlight all this. We're going to call this Meme 2. And we want to make sure that we save this format as a Photoshop document right there. Photoshop. So go ahead and click on that and press Save. And again, we can't turn in Photoshop documents, but we want to save them just in case. So let's also do a quick file save as. And we're just going to change format from Photoshop to JPEG. And we'll hit save there. Make sure that number is on 10 and press OK. Very nice. We're done with this one. Let's click on this little X right here to close it. And let's create a more modern meme. And we're going to do that by clicking on Create New. And we're going to do 10 by 10 by 72. So the same dimensions we did earlier will work for this. And let's go ahead and click on Create. And here we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to fill up my screen. And the next thing we're going to do is add 2 photos to this. So let's go back to Lightroom. And I don't really care what photos you use. The only thing I want you to do is to, if you use a horizontal photo, that your second photo should also be a horizontal photo. Or if you use vertical photos, then use another vertical photo. So make sure both of your photos are vertical or either both of your photos are horizontal. Let's start by opening up this one. I'm going to right click on it and choose Edit in Photoshop. Going to let this thing open up. There it is. And I'm going to press, I need to get this photo over here into this canvas. So I want to make sure I'm on my type tool, and if I accidentally click and drag on this with the type tool, it's going to create this layer over here, and that's going to cause issues later on. So I'm actually going to delete this by clicking and dragging that to the garbage can. And for now, I'm going to switch back to my move tool just to be safe, And I think the easiest way to get this photo into this canvas is to just press Command A to select everything. Command A selects all, and you'll see this selection appear around the photo. Then press Command C to copy. That copies whatever is inside of the selection. And then we're going to come over to this canvas, and we're going to go Command V as in Valentine's Day, and that's going to paste the image into this canvas. So Command A, Command C, Command V. And now this photo is way too big, so let's press Command T. And you can see, we can see a little bit of the box. By the way, Command T is Edit Free Transform. So this is a free transform that we're doing here. That's what we're seeing there. But we can't see the whole box. So let's zoom out by rolling the scroll wheel on your mouse if you've changed that setting. If you haven't, hold down Option and roll the scroll wheel on your mouse. And we're going to just grab this bottom right-hand corner, and we're going to shrink this way down to be about like that. We want that to be in the top left-hand corner. And we want some empty space here on the right. And then super important, you have to press Enter or Return to lock that in. So you got to lock that in. Okay. Let's come back to this photo right here and close this. So we'll click on this X right here. We are done with that. Do we want to save it? No, thank you. So that one's gone. Let's go back to Lightroom now. If you see this, just go ahead and click on OK. Just ignore that dude right there. It's totally fine. Go back to Lightroom and let's open up our second photo. Right click, Edit in Photoshop. And here we go. Command A to select everything. Command C to copy. And then we'll come over here and we'll press Command V to paste. And then we'll press Command T to load up the free transform. We'll zoom out. We're going to size this sucker down by bringing that corner in. I'm going to zoom in here before I press Enter. And I want to make sure these are kind of the same size. And you can see Photoshop's kind of snapping that into place for me. It's kind of letting that pink line is showing up right there. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. That pink line right along that edge is telling me that these two edges are now perfectly lined up. I don't really care that it goes off the edge of the canvas there. Not a problem. One thing you need to know is that if you need to, you can always just click on a photo, move it around a little bit, as long as you're on the Move tool, that is. So click on it, move it around, and then if you wanted to Command T it again to change the size, just press Command T. Move it into place, press return, click on this one, Command T. Maybe I want to make this one a little bit bigger. Move it into place, press return. There you go. We're almost done, you guys. We got this. Let's come to the type tool one last time. I'm going to choose the type tool. I know I'm going to need to change my settings because, one, I'm typing with white on a white background. I can't have that. So first thing I'm going to do is change the color to black. I do not want a big, huge, bold font like Impact for this one, so I'm going to choose something smaller. And I know 60 is going to be way too big, so I'll choose something smaller there. And I'm going to come out here, and I'm just going to click and drag a paragraph text box. And I'm going to align this to the left or center. You decide, whatever works for you. Type, turn the caps lock off. Something witty and clever in here. You don't actually have to come up with something funny. I just want you to show me that you can put some text in there. Then we're going to drag another one down here. And we'll put something even more funny and clever in here. Fix that. And there you go. Tell Photoshop we're done typing. And that's it. We just created a more modern style meme. And we're going to save this one. So let's go to File, Save As. We're in the meme assignment folder already. That's the first thing I'm going to check is what folder am I in. So I'm good. I'm going to call this Meme 3. And our format is going to be a Photoshop. I'll hit Save. And then I'm going to do File, Save As. And I'm going to change the format here from Photoshop to JPEG because that's the file I'm going to turn in. Hit Save. Press OK. I'm going to close this by pressing this X right here. I'm going to close this by pressing this X right here. Actually, we're done with Photoshop. Let's just close it. And we'll go to Schoology now. We're going to find the assignment 8, School Memes. Click on that. We're going to hit the Submit Assignment button. So on the Create page, we will hit the Upload. Sorry, not on the Create page. On the Upload page, we will hit the Upload a File button. And you can see here are the 6 files. I obviously can't press that button because I'm a teacher, so I can't press it because I can't turn it in. But what we would do is we want to turn in this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here, making sure we're turning in the .jpg files. And on a Mac, if you hold down the Command key, you can click, and then click again, and then click again to select all 3 files to upload them all at the same time. Or if you want to upload one, and then the next one, and then the next one, that is fine as well. And then just submit the assignment, and you are done. Well done.